All right, guys, so training hard and eating clean is just not enough. You know, think about this for a second. If it was, you would already have the physique that you want. But chances are, if you clicked on this video, you probably don't. Now, if you have like top 1% genetics, you can literally just look at a dumbbell, you can do so much wrong, and you will have a sick physique. But for 99% of us, for the rest of us, mere mortals, that's not enough. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 3 things to make sure you're doing and looking out for to make sure you can build muscle, lose fat, and actually build a body that you're proud of. Because, like, I'm speaking from experience here, there is nothing worse than going to the gym and putting the hours in and putting the effort in and being consistent and sticking to the diet and eating clean to get no results. Okay, I know firsthand how this feels because my first few years I really made so little progress whatsoever. And where this, I can remember a very memorable time when I was younger. I'd been training for a few years, and I think I was on a night out, and I was speaking with this guy. He was a lot more muscular than I was, and I could tell he went to the gym just by looking at him, you know. So we were speaking about, oh, where do you train, da da da, you know, just getting to know each other. And he was like, oh, what about you? Do you go to the gym? Like, as if it wasn't obvious that I go to the gym. Now, no one these days asks me whether I go to the gym or not. It's just obvious, right? But back then, he had to ask if I even went to the gym or not because he couldn't tell from looking at me. And you don't want to be that guy, all right? Life is too short to have a flabby, soft body, okay? Let's get rid of the man boobs, let's get rid of the belly, and let's get you in the best shape possible. How do we do that? Well, yes, obviously, you need to be training hard and eating clean. Like that is step 1, okay? Now, if someone's a complete beginner, if you have just been on your lazy fat ass on the sofa doing no exercise whatsoever and stuffing your face with fast food, then yeah, training hard and eating clean is a really good step 1. It's a bit like at the gym the other day, someone asked me advice on starting YouTube, and I was like, they were like asking about all these things. I was like, look, you're just massively overcomplicating it. All you need to do is pull out your phone, hit record the video, and upload. Okay, so if someone comes to me and say, oh, how do I grow a YouTube channel? I'm like, you make videos and you upload them to YouTube. Like, is that true? Yes. Is that advice going to get you to 1 million subscribers or whatever you care about? I mean, it could do, but there's so many more levels of stuff you need to know and think about. Or it's like with a business, for example, you could say, oh, how do I start a business? Well, you need like a product or a service or some way of delivering value to people that they're willing to pay money for. And then you need some kind of marketing or sales system to convert strangers into customers. Okay, that's it. You need an offer and you need traffic. That's it. Okay, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, okay, that helps, but how many of you with that information alone are going to go off and build $1 million business? Yet a lot of guys, they're training hard and eating clean, they're shut off to new information, and they just think they're just trying to grind their way to a sick physique. And if that would work, so many more people would have a great physique, all right? But think about it for a second. How many people do you actually know? How many people in your gym or in your area have a physique that you want? I mean, here I live in Bali, right? Okay, so there's a lot of people. Everyone's so fit out here. There's gyms on every single corner. There's healthy restaurants everywhere. It's so easy to be fit and healthy, and it kind of like distorts your reality because you end up thinking everyone is like that. But the reality is, particularly in the West, most people are not like that. And just by going to the gym alone and eating clean, you're already ahead of most people. But that will only take you so far, okay? So after you've got your training down and you're eating clean, what do you need to think about? Well, I've got 3 things that you need to think about. The first one is macros. You have to know your macros. Now, I can't give you your macros because it really depends on what your goal is and what you're optimizing for. For example, if you have some health issues, you might benefit from more of a carnivore low carb diet. If you're optimizing for mental performance, maybe you would do like a keto carnivore diet, for example, lower carb. If you're optimizing for physical performance, you might go higher carb. So I can't really give you your macros. It really depends on what your goal is. But what I can tell you is that the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to macronutrients. Biggest mistake number one, not tracking. Okay, you got to know your numbers. Okay, if you don't know your numbers, like, can you make progress? Sure, you can make some progress. But if you want the best results possible, or if you want to get results if you want to get the highest return on your time and energy spent in the gym, then you got to be tracking. Okay, and it doesn't take much effort at all. I've made previous videos about this. I'm not going to go into it in this one. Tracking is number one. Number two, not eating enough protein. Okay, it still surprises me in 2025 that people are not eating enough protein. how And I think part of it is, like, whenever you go to like a normal restaurant, the macro composition of the meal is just messed up. And something I want to leave you with here is macro composition affects body composition. Okay, so if you just eat carbs all the time and that's it, like, sure, you might be able to lose weight, but you're going to lose muscle and you're going to look shit. And I know so many guys who they diet, okay, they go on a diet and they just end up a smaller, fatter version of their current self. Okay, don't want to do that. Make sure you've got proper macros. Make sure you're eating enough protein. And the third biggest mistake is, well, I'm going to say it's not eating enough carbohydrates. Carbohydrates facilitate building muscle. Okay, can you do it on a keto carnivore diet? Yes, you can. Is it much harder? Yes, it is. So that's entirely up to you. I can't really give you your macros. That really depends on what your goals are, what you're optimizing for, etc. But I've got a coaching program where we can go far more in depth into that and find out exactly what you're trying to achieve. The link is down below if you're interested. Okay, so that is mistake number one, is macros. Mistake number 2 and 3, you can actually easily test for. And I would highly recommend every single one of you, if you're serious about this and you've been training for a while and you're eating clean and you've proven to yourself that this is a goal that you care about and you care about your health, and just for anyone who wants to be optimal in general, you need to go get a comprehensive blood panel done. And I would highly recommend that you do this once or twice a year, either every 12 months, every 6 months. And blood work is not perfect, okay? But what it will do is it will give you a snapshot in time of where your levels are at, and it will very quickly illuminate if there's any deficiencies, if there's anything wrong. It will just highlight if there's anything that you need to focus on and fix. And I would say one of the biggest things to look out for, you can actually test for this with saliva. This is probably better, is stress and cortisol, because cortisol is catabolic. Okay, cortisol will break down muscle tissue and it will store fat. It's the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. Okay, and a lot of people, particularly high performers, you know, they're burning the candle at both ends. They're working every single hour they can, and then they're doing the training, and then they're going out at the weekend, and there's just so much stress on the body, and you're in a chronically high cortisol state, and that is suboptimal for building muscle. Like I said, you know, cortisol, it's gonna store fat, it's going to break down muscle tissue, it's going to impair performance and recovery. So really pay attention to stress levels. Obviously, I've mentioned you can do a saliva test that you want to do 4 or 5 times throughout the day, and what you want to see is that your cortisol is high in the morning and it lowers in the evening. And if it doesn't, if the curve is quite flat, that means you have you're in a chronically stressed state, and we need to address that. Okay, what are some common causes for being in a stressed state? Well, like I said, work or any family personal issues, or overtraining. That's quite common out here in Bali because a lot of people are training once or twice a day. You see that with a lot of high rocks guys and stuff like that. So besides getting blood work, what are some other things that you can do which are going to help lower your stress levels? Well, first of all is just slow down. You know, I read something the other day which really resonated with me, and it was like, if you're rushing around all the time, it means you're dissatisfied with the present moment. Because if you were satisfied with the present moment, then you wouldn't be in so much of a rush to get to the next point, right? For some reason, that really just resonated with me because I feel like I've spent a lot of my life just rushing around trying to get to the next place instead of just enjoying the present moment. Okay, so just cultivate more awareness. You can do meditation. Meditation's super beneficial, even literally just 5-10 minutes a day. It's one of the highest ROI activities you can do to be more mindful, bring more self-awareness, and reduce stress levels. Obviously, sleep is massive as well. If your sleep is impaired right now from stress or from something else, definitely look at optimizing that as well. All right, so we talked about macros, we've talked about stress. The third thing to look out for, and this is becoming more and more common, particularly in the West, is your hormone levels, testosterone. Do you have low testosterone? Because unfortunately, we live in a modern world where there's more stresses and there's more things negatively impacting testosterone production than are actually aiding it, okay? So what are some signs that you are low testosterone? You don't enjoy working out, or you're incredibly sore after workouts. You just have very little desire or motivation, mood swings, sleep, you're not sleeping very well, no libido, no morning wood in the morning, maybe your testicles are shrunk, losing hair is another sign of low testosterone, okay? Like I said, you can try and guess what the problem is. Just go and get a comprehensive blood panel done. It's cheap, it doesn't cost much. They take your blood, you get all your levels back, and then you can see if there's any issues. But low testosterone, you know, it's one of the main hormones in the body which is responsible for building muscle and keeping you lean. So if you don't have enough testosterone, you can have the perfect diet, you can have the perfect training program, and you can be doing everything right. But if you have low testosterone, you will forever struggle to build muscle and lose fat, okay? So like I said, go and get a test done. You'll be able to see this. What I would recommend is not just jumping on TRT right away, particularly in America. There's a lot of these clinics, they're very quick to get you on TRT. There are so many other things you can do before considering testosterone replacement therapy. I'm not against it by any means. I think there's a time and a place for it. I just think, like a lot of Western medicine, the drugs and the other stuff is considered first, rather than looking at lifestyle and you know, some things which don't require you taking any drugs whatsoever. All right, but like I said, all of this is included in my training program. Okay, we're just scratching the surface of what's possible here. So guys, if you're serious about building muscle and losing fat and having a sick physique, take this advice. Make sure you find the macros which are right for you, okay? And if you don't know, hire a coach, okay? Find someone, it doesn't even have to be me, find someone online who you resonate with and who's done what you want to do, and just copy what they did, and then you'll get the same result, guys. It's really not rocket science at the end of the day. But go and get a blood panel done, get your levels checked. It will highlight if there's anything wrong or if there's anything that needs addressing, and address those things, and then you will actually start to get a good return on investment on your time spent in the gym. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, there is nothing worse than grinding away and putting the effort in and staying consistent with the training, the diet, and everything else, and not getting a return on your investment. Okay, you don't want to look like the guy who doesn't want to work out even though you've been working out for years. All right guys, so I hope this video helps. Now, when it comes to dieting, there's an art and science to it, and a lot of people are really struggling. A lot of people find dieting very hard, but you will need to learn how to diet properly if you ever want to get lean and have a six-pack and, you know, just overall have an impressive physique. So I actually made a video about this here, how to make dieting feel easy and effortless. So go and watch that one right now. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.